Hello, everybody. Andy here, coming to you from the AC System Suite. I am so excited to be starting our YouTube channel that we're going to use to try to pass on as much knowledge as we can to help you guys become more successful traders. You know, some of you are already quite successful out there, and hopefully, some of the things we'll share over the days, weeks, and months to come will help you become more successful. And some of you guys are still trying to get over that hump, and get to consistent profitability. And that's what my main goal is to be a support and help to you guys out there. So I hope you like what you hear today enough to decide to subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can keep seeing the new videos. We're going to do at least several a week, packed with information that I think you'll find really valuable. Um, to what we're going to do today is talk about a series that we're starting, the building blocks to successful automated trading. I'm going to go over building block number one, teach you a cool practical tool that you can use, but we're also going to talk briefly about the reason that I believe automation is so important. So today's video will be a little bit longer, not much, or not too bad, but a little bit longer. On average, I'm going to try really hard to keep our training videos for you guys to somewhere between 5 and 15 minutes so you can take them in, easily and quickly and stay attentive. When today's session, is going to be a little bit longer. Without any further ado, let's get started here. Guys, risk disclosures and disclaimer information, really important stuff. We trade because we have the ability to make money, but with that ability and opportunity comes substantial and very real risk. So please take the time to really read through all of these paragraphs. Make sure you understand every element and detail therein. And if you have any questions about any of that at any time, please feel free to ask. I'd be happy to talk with you about that in more detail. So our series, guys, we're going to help you learn to automate your trading simply and easily. Today, we're going to talk about why automation, and then I'm going to teach you, a first cool thing that you can do that's powerful in its own right, and even more powerful when we combine it with some of the other things that I'm going to teach you as we roll along in the days and weeks to come. You'll see 5 sessions outlined here. This series about learning to automate your trading simply and easily is probably going to be at least 20 to 25 sessions long. I'm just giving you the first 5 here so we don't overwhelm stuff. So session number 2 and 3 are just going to be an additional new tool. Session number 4, though, we're going to talk about creating filters that you can use to improve any trading system. So you might already have some trading systems that you're using that work pretty good, but you wish it could be a little bit better. Well, some of the filters that I'm going to tell you about and teach you how to build, they may help you with systems you already have, or you may just add them to some new things that you build as you start to learn how to do some of this stuff from this series. And then maybe the most powerful and important thing out there that there aren't too many traders. If I were to ask 100 traders, are you using market-driven stops, or are you using just kind of ATM strategies with just kind of a random number that you've researched a little bit? And, I think an 8-tick stop or a 10 or a 12 or a 25-tick stop, with a little trailing, that's what I do. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't want to knock it too much, but taking it another step further, you have the ability to create market-driven stops. Let the market and the dynamic and the price action that's occurring in the market tell you when it's time to get out. If you use market-driven stops, you have the ability to capture enormous profits that most short-term day traders leave on the table. How many times have you seen a market, maybe you get into a trade and it just goes ballistic? It goes to 10 or 20 times your profit target. So let's say you're looking for a 10-tick profit target or a 15 or a 20-tick profit target, and you get into a trade only to have it just go crazy, but you only took, 12 ticks or whatever. That's happened to all of us, right? Well, with a market-driven stop, you're able to actually, harness that potential in a way that you never have before. So I think that's a session that many of you are going to find exceptionally, exceptionally powerful. So why automation? The answer is edge erosion. To be a profitable trader, we all have to have an edge in the market. Like the casinos, the reason Las Vegas is such an incredible town so big buildings and flashy lights and, such an amazing place is because the casinos always have an edge, right? If somebody plays a game 10,000 times, they're always going to end up making X percentage. I'm sure there's a variance, but they have an edge, a quantifiable edge that always occurs over time. Well, if you don't have an edge when you're trading, then you're not going to end up being a consistently profitable trader. So we all have to have an edge, and we gain an edge by using a trading system that has been proven to have an edge, right? Well, most of you don't just randomly execute trades. Most of you out there have a trading system that you're using, right? And in most cases, not all cases, but most cases, your trading system that you're using, whether you created it yourself or you bought it from somebody, probably does have an edge. Yet you're using it and you're not profitable. A very small percentage of short-term day traders actually reach profitability. And what I'm talking about right now is one of the biggest reasons. It's not because traders don't have a system that has an edge. I mean, certainly there are plenty of people out there that probably do use systems that don't have an edge. But there are many, 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 many traders, a very high percentage, in fact, of traders that are using systems that do have a quantifiable edge, yet they're still not profitable. Why? This is the answer. Edge erosion is the number one killer of traders' profits. How many times have we're sitting there, we're being diligent, we're trying to do our best following our trading plan, and we got to go to the bathroom, right? I mean, all of us, you got to go to the bathroom at some point, or you got to grab a bite to eat or this or that. We cannot sit at the computer for 8 hours straight and never leave. How often, when you get up to go to the bathroom or get up to grab a sandwich, do you miss a winning trade? It happens to all of us, right? It happened to me hundreds of times through the years. So guys, I've been trading for almost 20 years, and for over 18 of those years, I was a discretionary manual trader, just like many of you. And now for a little less than a year, I'm no longer, I will never, well, I don't want to say I'll never take a manual trade, but 98% of my trading is now automated. And I want to explain, through this series, I hope to show you guys why you need to make the switch. It will make all the difference for you. Traders that are already profitable, it'll make you more profitable. And those of you that are trying to get over that hump, hear me out. I really believe for many of you, a very high percentage of you, some of the things I'm talking about right now, this edge erosion, that could be the only difference. You could be skilled enough, you could have good enough systems, you could be ready, and the only thing holding you back right now is the fact that the edge erosion eats away your profit. So you get up, you go to the bathroom, you miss a winning trade. Say that happens 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 8, 10, 15 times a month, 100, 150 times a year. Guys, it makes a significant difference in the bottom line in the long run. We don't think about it that way. Oh, I only miss 2 trades a week, and I try to execute 30 trades a day. What's missing 2 trades? Well, it really does add up. And I don't know how or why it is, guys, but you've all experienced it, right? Murphy's Law, the trade you miss, it's always going to be a winner. Not always, but you know what I mean. More oftentimes than not, right? When you get up and go to the bathroom, there's a winning trade. It adds up, and that's edge erosion. How often have you're being so diligent, you're sitting there, you're watching your screen, you're waiting for all your rules to line up so that you can enter the market and execute your trade, follow your trading plan, and everything lines up, boom, you click enter, you're in the trade, only to 5 or 10 seconds later realize that it actually didn't qualify. There was one rule that wasn't quite right. You thought it was, so you pulled the trigger, but you were wrong. And inevitably, most of those trades turn out to be losses. An automated system would not have made that mistake. It would not have taken that trade. But it's happened hundreds of times to me through my years of trading. I guarantee it happens to you. That's edge erosion. It happens every day. Every trader has some level of edge erosion each day. And that's your profit. So many of you out there are scratch traders. You're pretty close. You just don't make money, but you don't really lose a lot of money either, many of you. Well, what I'm talking about right now is your profit. These missing trades, these mistake trades, if you could eliminate them, you would be making $200 to $300 a day. And once you do that consistently for a while, you trade a few more contracts and you're making $2,000 to $3,000 a day and you're living the dream. Okay, I'm telling you guys, this is the real deal. So how do we automate? Well, Markers Plus is this incredible software from the Indicator Store that gives individuals that know nothing about trading the ability to take ideas in their head and turn them into indicators and then automate those indicators. It's easy, guys. I am the furthest thing from a programmer. My brain does not work that way, the way a programmer's brain works. I could never be a programmer. Yet I have taken this software, Markers Plus, and I have created an incredibly powerful group of systems, the AC System Suite. I'm going to give you a peek at it in just a second. That nearly 100 traders now have purchased and are using day in and day out in the live markets to take their little piece. Very, very excited. This is coming from a guy who knows nothing about trading, about programming. So just for full disclosure, I have no affiliation with the Indicator Store. I've known the creator of Markers Plus, Pablo, for a lot of years. He's a great person, a wonderful individual. But other than that, I have no affiliation with the Indicator Store itself. There's no other product or no other way that I could bring my creativity out and be able to take what's in my head and create systems and tools on my own. And Markers Plus gives me the ability to use it. So that's why I use that platform. So let's take a quick look, guys. I'm going to break away from the PowerPoint and let me show you what the AC Raptor and the AC Slipstream, two of our AC System Suite systems, did in the market today. It is Monday. What is the date today? May 20th. And let's just take a look and see what the AC Raptor and the AC Slipstream did in the live market this morning. And the reason I'm doing this is I want you guys to see what the end result can look like. Okay, over the next 4 to 8 weeks, I'm going to be sharing multiple, 5 to 15 minute little training sessions with you guys every week. And all of these little bits and pieces and awesome tools that I share with you, they can be put together to build things like the AC Raptor and the AC Slipstream. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look. So you'll see it's a little after 8 o'clock you see my pointer here, the circle on 520 in the NASDAQ market. Okay, the right-hand most chart is this trading system called the AC Slipstream. The left-hand most chart is a trading system called the AC Raptor. I see how I have my crosshair on global simulation. So when I move to the right on the Slipstream, the crosshair actually moves to the right on the Raptor also. Just because I don't want to take time to go through both systems, you can watch as I scroll forward how each system does. Both systems really, but the Raptor can be configured in multiple different ways. The configuration that you see right now is one, we call it the Raptor 2.0, and we've configured it to take trades on deeper pullbacks. And the reason we've done that is because it fits so synergistically with the slipstream. So a lot of our traders are trading both systems at the same time because they don't take trades at the same time. There's a synergistic nature. The Raptor's looking for the deeper pullback. The slipstream is taking trades much faster and earlier. So both systems are trend following systems. The strength of the slipstream is that it's looking and it identifies momentum moves. So it identifies momentum moves and looks to execute trades in the midst of that momentum. The other incredibly powerful thing about the slipstream is it avoids sideways chopping markets. How many times have you had a system or a trade rules where you execute lots of trades, you're doing great, and then you give all that profit back when the markets die out and kind of start to chop sideways? Well, the slipstream avoids those conditions exceptionally well. It's one of the really, really cool things. So what I want you to recognize as I scroll forward and we look at a few hours worth of trades from this morning, recognize how the Raptor and slipstream grab their trades at different times, and that's why they have such a cool synergistic effect. One of the other things, I feel like there was one other thing I wanted to mention, but it's escaping. Oh, these white dots, we're not going to talk much about that right now, but those are the market-driven stops that I mentioned a while back. So if you're just curious to what those are. Oh, the other thing I want to say. So listen, this is automation. We turn the AC Raptor to A for full auto mode. We turn the longs on, we turn the shorts on. When it's set like that, when a red arrow appears, it's going to execute that trade automatically. I don't have to do anything. When a blue arrow appears, it's going to execute that buy trade. I don't have to do anything. Same thing over on the Raptor chart. We're talking automation to the point where you don't have to do anything. The system does all the heavy lifting for you. Okay, so let's take a look. A little after 8:15 or something like that, we had a nice winning buy trade here. You can see over on the Raptor chart, two gorgeous trades. Grabbed at really good areas. I generally personally look for between a 10 and 12 tick initial profit. So if something doesn't get at least 10 ticks into the profit, I don't consider it a winner. When I trade, my average loss ends up being somewhere in the neighborhood of 8 to 12 ticks. Very occasionally it can get a little bit bigger than that, but generally speaking, my average loss is 8 to 12 ticks. And if you have the ability to trade multiple contracts, well then, things get really fun because you can have runners and different things. But you'll see gorgeous short there, back in again there, back in again there. And again, if somebody was using a really big profit target or holding a runner this whole time, you might have only executed the first trade and you might be holding a contract this whole time down. So you could totally do that. But traders that are going for 10 ticks or 12 ticks, they're going to have all these trades available to them. I'm not going to circle both charts just because I don't want to have to go back and forth. So I'll put circles around the wins and a square around the losses, but only on the slipstream chart. The slipstream chart, you can kind of look to see what the Raptor chart does. So notice kind of sideways action. Slipstream totally avoids it. We start heading lower, some more nice trades. And remember, this is, if you're just sitting back watching the price action and you have your system turned on, it is going to execute these trades automatically for you. See that really nice Raptor trade over on the left-hand most chart there? That's a gorgeous looking trade there. Beautiful. This trade's not that good. Let's see if no, it did not. So that got about 7 or 8 ticks. Did not get to a winner. Got a little bit of profit, but not enough. So that one was a loser. And then we're back into some wins here. So again, I'm not going to spend much more time on this, guys. I'll go just a little bit further just so you can see a little bit more price action. But you get the idea. Look, this is what all of the little different tools that I'm going to be teaching you each session can be put together to build systems like this with this kind of success. See that Raptor trade over on the left-hand chart? Look at that. See, so the slipstream grabs these early trades, right? And then the deeper pullback happens and the Raptor grabs a trade right there. How perfect is that? You know, really nice synergy. So this one's a loser, right? We didn't follow through enough. No win there. But a nice win on the Raptor over there on the left, right? That got 10 or more ticks into the profit because it got in at a better location. So the market just opened a little 4 or 5 minutes ago. Okay. Oh man, look at the Raptor signals. The slipstream signals are okay, but look at the precision. The Raptor signals are getting in at the left-hand most chart. They're getting in at the absolute best prices. You see that? The tips of those moves. When these slipstreams trades that I'm circling, they're okay, but you have to take a little bit of heat on some of them before it continues back on. But look at those. I got to go back and look at it again. Look at those. How many? 1, 2, 3. I'm going over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades, all picked, you know, just gorgeous on that 5-minute move down, you know. And again, yeah, anyway, we'll leave it that. Absolutely beautiful. Another really important big thing, guys, about automation is when the market's at times it moves too fast for us. You know, we try to do our best, we try to do better, but there are some markets that we just can't handle manually, but automation can. And sometimes in those conditions when things are going a little crazy, yes, there will be slippage that's a little bit bigger than normal. But the reality is, if that's the type of market you're in, probably it's following through enough that the slippage doesn't matter. So even if you get slipped 2 or 3 times as much as normal, a lot of times it doesn't really even matter. So we can see a losing, really nice short, but then a losing Raptor signal there. But gorgeous on a little bit bigger pullback. So you're getting the idea. I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I want you to see as much as you want to see here, but I also I don't want this recording to get too long. But this is what, you know, a really well-defined, clearly thought out rule set with quantifiable edges put together with, you know, some filtering, some market-driven stops. This is what it can produce. And as I mentioned, you know, we've got a bunch of traders using these tools every day in the live market, finding all kinds of success. Okay, maybe we'll go to 10:30. How about that? I think we started just a little bit before 8:30 and looking at stuff, so that'll let you see at least. So look at that. There was 3 great Raptor trades. You see the left-hand most chart there? Boom, boom, boom. You know, picking the bigger pullbacks. And the slipstream didn't even want to take trades in there. You know, it didn't even want to take trades. But the Raptor grabbed some great ones. So really good synergy. So probably a losing trade here, you know, a little bit too deep a pullback, but then comes right back with a nice win. Couple of gorgeous wins here. Let's just check that. Yeah, that's 10 ticks on the nose. So that would either be a win, or if you didn't get filled for your profit target, maybe a break even. Look at this. Here's some of that sideways price action. Look at this sideways price action, and the slipstream just completely ignores it. Look at all that sideways ugliness. The slipstream totally ignors it. And then momentum comes back to the market, it takes off, and the slipstream kicks back into gear. Okay, so guys, this is what's possible when you learn how to take, some good ideas in your head and put them together. You can take automation all the way to the bank. So there we're after 10:30. All right, so that's the end result of what can be accomplished when you learn how to use Markers Plus to its highest ability. Let's go back now and just take a quick peek. All right, cool. So this is what we're going to do now. Building block number 1, guys. I want to show you how to take a simple moving average crossover. First of all, I want you to see how powerful that can actually be. Sometimes I think we overlook the power of simplicity. A simple moving average crossover can be an incredibly powerful system. And, it tends not to be reliable enough on its own to be super viable. I mean, there are times and days when it is, for sure. But if you add a filter here and a market-driven stop here and an extra idea there, you can take, the backbone of your system could be a moving average cross that you then add a few extra bells and whistles to, and you could have something really good. So today, I'm going to show you very easily how somebody who knows nothing about programming can create an indicator that paints a signal, and then how easy it is to take that signal and fully automate it. Okay, let's do it. We'll go back to the charts here. Boom. Oops, here it is already built. I'm gonna sorry, I'm gonna unbuild it all. There we go. So now we're gonna start from scratch. Okay, this is a 7 range. It could be anything. Could be minute charts. It could be whatever you're comfortable with. I just happen to pull up a chart that's similar to charts that I use on a daily basis. Okay, but this is a NASDAQ chart. Could be any market. NASDAQ 7 range bar chart. Look at how quickly we can build this powerful tool using Markers Plus. Ready? I'm going to right click. I'm going to go to indicators. And the first thing I'm going to do is just put a NinjaTrader, just a regular EMA from NinjaTrader. Okay, I'm going to use a 13 period EMA. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change it from orange. I'm going to change it to cyan, how about? And we'll make it width of 3. And then I'm going to, before I click OK, I'm going to bring the other, I'm going to click EMA and click new, and I'm going to make the next one be a 21. Okay, so a 13 and a 21 EMA. This one I'm going to make magenta. How about that? And we'll make that one a width of 3 as well. And I'm going to click OK. And this is not Markers Plus. This is just NinjaTrader. So look at this generally. We get a crossover here. Look at that nice run. We get a crossover here. Not too bad. Crosses back here. Not too bad. And here's where it gets a little choppy maybe. So down the road, you'll learn some ways that you could filter, but crosses over, not bad. Crosses over, not bad, right? Pretty powerful little idea all on its own. And by the end of this series, when you have all the different ideas and you can add filters or add a slope condition or this or that, you're really going to love to see how powerful it is. So let me take you to the next step. Step number 2, guys, here we go. Right click, indicators, and now we're going to dive into Markers Plus. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy those EMA lines. So I'm going to click on Markers Plus, copy, new, and I'm going to come in here and I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to call it EMA 13. And then I'm going to go to Input Series, and I'm going to click on that. I'm going to come up here to indicators, and what is it that I want to copy? Well, I want to copy the EMA, right? So I'm going to highlight EMA. I want to copy a 13 EMA. So I'm going to click on that, click OK. I'm going to go ahead and change the color to cyan, which is what we did with the EMA that we made. Okay, and I'm going to change the width to 3. And rather than, I'm just going to do the next step at the same time. So I'm going to select Markers Plus, copy again. I'm going to click new. I'm going to come up here and give it a name. And I'm going to call it EMA 21. I'm going to go down to Input Series, click on that. And what do I want to copy? Well, the indicator I want to copy is an EMA. So I'm going to click that, and I want it to be a period of 21. And then I'm going to change the color to magenta. Oops, I did fuchsia. There's magenta, and a width of 3. And now I'm going to click OK. And you'll see here are the 2 lines that I just copied from up there. And now to make sure that they're correct and to have my chart less cluttered, I'm going to grab it from here with the left mouse button, drag it over to the margin, and drop it. Now it's up on the chart. It's overlapping the other EMA exactly. Do the same with the next one. So I just used Markers Plus to copy those 2 lines identically. Okay? Now, the last step to creating an indicator, how cool and easy is this? I'm going to click on Indicators, and I'm going to click on Markers Plus Crossover. I'm going to click New. Then I come in here and I use, remember what I called the 13? I called it EMA 13. So that was the variable name for the first one. The variable name for the second condition was EMA 21. And now the result name for this crossover, I'm going to call Cross 1321. Okay? And you can see it's going to paint the signal, buy signals green with an up arrow. It's going to paint sell signals orange-red with a down arrow. Let's go ahead and click OK. You can see we have our histogram down here, and we have signals on the chart. How awesome is that? That sell signal's not too bad. Buy signal, pretty great. Not so great, pretty good. Not so great, pretty good. Not pretty great. So what if we could eliminate some of these whipsaws, where it barely changes? That'd be pretty cool, right? Let me show you how easy that is to do. There's a threshold level. Okay, so if we right click and go to Markers Plus Crossover, we can come in here and this threshold level, what if we go ahead and set that to 0.25? Click OK. Now those little whipsaws are gone. Okay, so as we go forward, see we shorted here, or the signal shorted there. We didn't get whipsawed there with our little margin. We're short this whole time, and then we get called back on this trade here. So that's a good signal in that it catches this move. The actual placement of the signal is not great because of that big move down, but you just get the general idea. This is just a really basic, easy idea, and yet look at how powerful it really is. And like I said, in the next 4 to 8 weeks, you're going to receive so many other tools that when you start to combine these tools, you'll start to be able to have a condition that weeds out this trade altogether. It accepts this one, weeds out this one. Accepts this one. Maybe it says no to this, and it lets you get into it over here perhaps. So there's all different kinds of options. But honestly, look at how many really good trades, just this little simple thing that I built in no time flat with zero programming knowledge. Not too bad. Lots of pretty doggone big wins here, guys, right? Now, you ready to take this to full automation? All we have to do is this: indicators, markers plus, new, and then we have to make sure that in this area, object definitions to trigger orders, we're using arrows. So for buys, we're using up arrow. For sells, we're using down arrow. And green and orange red are the correct signals. That's really all there is to it. We click OK. And now look what we have here. Okay, we have markers plus up here. So if we turned it to A and lit these up green and red, boom. There's really not much more to it than that, guys. And these signals could be executed in full automation mode by Markers Plus. I did that in probably less than 5 minutes, right? Powerful, powerful tools. Now, as we get near the end of our series, we'll share and teach some things that are a little bit more sophisticated, not real hard, but that gives you the ability to do things you could never imagine. Or said another way, gives you the ability to do things just about anything you can imagine in your head. You could create an indicator for it that could then be automated. So I hope you come along for the journey, guys. There's no cost at all to subscribe and be a part of the AC System Suite YouTube channel. So I hope you will, in fact, subscribe and come along this journey learning how to take your ideas and turn them into automation. Thank you so much for being here today, and you can expect a new video to be posted to this link or to this channel every couple of days. And you know what? I'm sure at some point we will likely do some live broadcasting as well. So you can keep your eyes open for that. Thanks, everybody. And I look forward to helping you become the best trader that you can be. Take care, everyone.